So what is the future for the illegal amnesty order from late last year? It's been punted to the courts, which he'll ignore the way he ignores Congress, won't he?
Well, that's a good question, Glenn, and actually it's the most significant question in front of us now. The president has contempt for Congress. He ignores Congress. He's taught the Constitution, but he defies his own words. And he's defied Article 1, the legislative branch, the Congress, but he hasn't yet, in a clear way, defied the courts. If he gets a bad decision on, one he disagrees with on Obamacare, if he gets a bad decision on immigration and defies the courts, who knows how the public will respond to this. Right now, they respect people in black robes, and they think that they know something that the rest of us don't. If the president defies that, we shall see. But it moves him into emperor status if he can get away with it. And his calculation is not what's true and just and right or even good for America. It's how can he exploit his power base and move our country to the left towards the ideology of Karl Marx. And how far can he go and get away with it? There's no conscience involved in this. There's no sense of duty to the Constitution or his oath to it. He has kicked that completely sideways. And so we are a country that has been too apathetic about it. If it's a lack of education, lack of passion, I don't know. But I thought we'd all be ready to surround the White House when the president issued his November 20th orders. And instead, it looks like many people just capitulated to it. And one more thing, Glenn, on marriage, if this court decides that they're going to change the definition of marriage, that then throws this country into an endless trauma as well. So we need a new president.
Wait. How?
An endless trauma in a similar way that Roe versus Wade did, and the constant marches. The public will not accept a huge decision of a Supreme Court that's not a decision of the people. Dred Scott, back in 1857, the court thought they were going to solve the slavery question by telling Congress that they couldn't free the slaves and telling the country that slaves could never be citizens. They made that decision, and that helped move us. It moved us towards a civil war. It wasn't the only reason, but it was a big reason. Then in 1866, there was a Civil Rights Act. That wasn't enough to get the job done. There was the 13th Amendment that freed the slaves, the 14th Amendment that guaranteed them full citizenship, and then we still were 100 years before we got the Civil Rights Act. I mean, all of that to eliminate slavery. Do they really think that they can do what they're going to do to marriage with one decision of the Supreme Court, and a society is going to accept that?
Here's
in for a long battle, Glenn.
Here's the problem. The problem with the gay marriage thing is, and I'm being laughed at in the press on the left, is I said that I think about 50% of our churches are not prepared, or at least 50% of those who sit in the pew are not prepared for the consequences of that decision. And what that'll mean, that decision will mean the government will then be able to tell you who you must marry. And if your church says, no, we don't marry homosexuals, then your church is going to be deemed